Douglas from GameSpot UK. We're here with Blazej, project coordinator from Techland for Call of Juarez, the Cartel. Thanks for joining us, Blazej.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Go! Hey, pendejos!
Okay, so tell us about the Cartel. Obviously, we've only really just heard about it. You kept it under wraps, and it's Call of Juarez but made modern, right?
Yeah, that's true. We moved the franchise to a modern setting because we kept saying that the Wild West values and experience was universal. And now it's our chance to prove it, actually, with this game. So this is a game set in contemporary USA, and we go on a road trip to Mexico of sorts over the campaign. We, of course, want to keep the fans of the franchise happy, because we are great fans of the Western. We have a lot of experience creating it. But we also want to make it accessible and attractive to new audience, and we hope we can pull it off with the change of the setting.
Okay, so we've just seen you've got 3-player co-op. First, tell us about the characters. You've got the three characters, and then about how the co-op's going to work.
Yeah, so the protagonists of our story are first Ben McCall. It's an LAPD detective. We want him to be the spiritual successor to Ray McCall from previous games. So he's a badass cop, he's a war veteran, he's cynical, bitter, he's driven by vengeance in the game, and he is sort of the star of this game. But he has two very interesting characters with him. The second is DEA agent Eddie Guerra, who is the smooth talker, gambler, and the ladies' man of the bunch.
Eddie, you're an asshole.
Hey, I didn't know they were gonna waste a little bitch.
He's a very accomplished and competent DEA agent, but his weak spot is gambling, so he always needs some money to cover his old debts and creates new ones. So he is ready to step over the line to get more. And the third character is Kimberly Evans, as an FBI special agent. She's a rising star in the bureau, and she's only learning how the real world really works. So there will be some friction between especially her and Ben, but not only then. And she has some dark past that she needs to hide in order for her career to flourish. So those are the three characters that you will be able to play, and they are all very much main characters. So whenever you play co-op, you always feel like you're also the hero of the story, not just support for one main character.
Okay, and that story is they're going after a Mexican drugs cartel, is that right?
Yeah, that's true. So the events, the very much fictional events, contrary to some news outlets, that set off the story of the cartel, are that there is a successful bombing attack on one of the US law enforcement agencies. So there are many casualties among the officers and officials, and the more radical elements in the US political scene are calling for a final resolution of the drug violence problem, so a military intervention in Mexico. But obviously the Mexican government wouldn't like that. So to avoid an act of war, as a last-ditch effort, the Deputy Attorney General creates this special team of those three individuals. And it's intentional that each one is from a different agency, because the risk of infiltration is very high, of course, so they don't want to give the control over the investigation to just one.
And I saw a pale horse, and he who sits upon it, and his name is Death. And he has a bullet with your fucking name on it.
So you start in LA, and then you move towards Juarez in Mexico. So on the way you have both urban environments, you have the wide open spaces, you have forest areas, and we will try to give something different to the players in each of them.
Okay, let's talk about how it plays. It's still an action shooter, of course, and you've got drop-in, drop-out co-op. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can join friends or just any other online players at the same stage of the story. So of course you will not jump instantly to some spoilers, but we have some mechanics to allow you to easily play with friends. And this time, since each character has a unique story perspective on what's going on in the game, you can't switch characters between missions like you did in Bound in Blood. This time you pick one protagonist and stick with him to see the whole story from one perspective, and then you really should try and play the others to see that the events might not have been what they seem.
Heads up! Fuck!
You'll scare them off. What? Shoot, goddammit!
Okay, last of all, what would you say to Call of Juarez fans who were not so happy with the decision to make the game modern and sort of urban?
You should trust us. This is a great Western game. This is a new Call of Juarez game, and it will be just as great. We have the same creative team working on it with some extra support from Ubisoft and from new technology, so it will work out in the end.
Let's grab him while he's still breathing.
Call of Juarez: The Cartel is coming out in summer 2011 for PC, PS3 and Xbox 360.
Who's praying now?
Who the fuck are you?
The police.